I don't play right. I'll put up a good fight. Just give me the word, You know I don't play right. You know I don't play right. Don't do this. I'm gonna get back when I feel like Don't give me this.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. So it is here and in the house, the all new or updated Hyper TT 10 2.0. So I'm very, very happy and excited that Hobio did this. So if you guys aren't familiar, the original one, the version 1, came out about 2000, I want to say 7 or 8 or so. And I ran it. Now there's tons of videos on my channel. I'll leave some links down below in the description to it. But I had at least 4 of those vehicles. I did get like one of the ready to runs, and I started getting the almost ready to run versions and stuff. And it did need some updates to it. I mean, but it's, as of today, over probably about a 15-year-old platform. And the platform ran good, and it was great to race on the track. And you could do a little bashing and stuff with it, but go and behold, 2024, 15 plus years later about, they have come out with a version 2, which you see here. So I'm going to unbox this. I'm going to show you some of the new features on this. I'll leave a link below in the description for you guys to check it out. Then I'm just going to take it for a quick speed run. I'm going to put some Anaconda tires on here and then take this for a speed run. And I'm probably going to change the gearing because I know how these vehicles work completely out the box. But I'm so glad that Hobio has updated this vehicle and put it out there, because it was a beast back then. It's going to be a super beast right now. It's going to be Godzilla right now. So I'll leave a link below in the description to this. Now, this is going to be the ready to run version. This is going to come with the radio, and then it's going to come with a painted body. The body comes in 2 different colors, as you guys see there, and it comes with a painted body, and then it also comes with the motor and ESC. I think it's like a 38 or 3900 kV motor, and I'll show that to you guys when I unbox it. This is going to run you $399, and then they have an almost ready to run version that does not come with a painted body or any electronics either. So I'll put that below in the description. And if you guys aren't familiar with Hobio, there will be in the description a link over to the website. They've got several cars out there. I've tested and ran a lot of their cars on there, from their monster trucks over to some of their on-road cars and even some of their cage buggies and stuff. So it's not that they, for some of you guys that may be new to the hobby, they've been in the industry for probably about, I'd say about 20 years or so, and they've got a very good line of innovative products, and they make updates for their cars too, which I'll show you in this video. But anyway, let me quit all that yap, and we're gonna take a look at this. So like I said before, this is gonna be the new version, or the 2.0 version, as you see there, and this vehicle has a lot of updates on it. And the good thing about it is a lot of these are compatible with the older version. I think a couple of things are going to be non-compatible, as far as you guys see there, the center differential, which is going to be housed more towards the rear of the chassis instead of the center, like the original, or the version 1 was. And then they did updates to the A-arms, which could be used on the original version. And then they got several other things on here too that I'm going to unbox and show this to you guys. You guys can see some of this stuff here. They did change several things on here, and they made this a lot more durable than the previous version. So I'm going to quit my yapping, and we're going to open this up real quick. This is what it looks like when you get it. Gotta get your smell-o-vision on. Now, I did take a look at this before I unboxed it for you guys, because I was just so excited to get this vehicle and take a look at it. But look at this beautiful blue they have here. Then there's also a gray body that comes with yellow wheels too. And then of course the wing is not on here. And then you have the instruction manual. So let me put all this aside. Let's take a look at this real quick. So here you're going to have your instruction manual about the vehicle. Now, this is a race 10 scale Truggy. I think its only competition would be the Techno Truggy. But like I said, guys, this thing was a monster back in the day. So I can only imagine with these updates they've done to it, how this thing is going to handle and run. It's going to be a lot more durable than the version 1. But of course, take a couple of minutes, look through the instruction manual, familiarize yourself with it as always. And so you know some of the parts and components and stuff of this. And so as I mentioned, this is the ready to run version. So it does come with electronics installed on it. I just have to put this wing on here, which I will in just a second. And it comes with a 2.4 gigahertz radio. This is going to be a 3-channel radio. Third channel is going to be there if you want to utilize that third channel. But it has all your basic bells and whistles to get you started. So this radio is actually pretty good. So if you want to just take this and race it as it is, you can do this. This is one of the few vehicles, or probably one of the only vehicles I know that you can straight take it to a track and be competitive. Now, there's not a lot of cars in this when you go to a track to race this, so you'll probably race against probably 4-wheel drive buggies and stuff, and you'll be probably winning a lot, because we've raced and run this before, and we beat a lot of cars with this. So we even beat 8-skill cars with this, and I'll let you guys know why in just a minute. But the wing is going to pop right on here just like that. So let me get this wing on and be back in just a second. All right, guys, there you go in all its glory, and this thing looks good. The major difference between this one and the other one is just going to be the sticker as far as looks are concerned. You probably wouldn't be able to tell this one from the previous version, except for this sticker is going to distinguish that, but underneath this body, it's a complete different beast underneath here. So, got this wing on real quick, and taking this body off, and like I said, you can get this in clear, and there's going to be parts and stuff available too at the time of the release of this as well. But that's going to be the look of the inside of this vehicle. And you guys that are familiar with the old Hyper T and this image there popping up, you see there's going to be a lot of differences as far as the way they arrange some of this stuff in here. On the older version, it did have the center diff and stuff right here in the middle of the chassis, and the motor mounted completely different and stuff like that. And it was kind of hard to put the receiver in there. You kind of had to put over the side or something, but that's not the case with this one. So they really went in and thought about the redesign for this vehicle, and this is what they came up with. And I'm glad that they did this, because there's several things I want to go over in this video before we get this running. Like I said, when we run it, I'm just going to do a quick speed test and put some anacondas on here. I believe it comes with a 13-tooth pinion gear, and I know to really open this thing up, you put about a 16 or 17 in. So that's what I'm going to do, because I know how these vehicles are going to run, especially with this motor. And then, of course, you can do some updates to it later on with it. But look at this layout. They've done several things new to this vehicle. Now, these A-arms are going to be something that's a little bit new too. You can use these on the version 1 if you want, but you can also get those carbon fiber inserts for this to stiffen up and strengthen the A-arms too. But these A-arms look a lot stronger than the previous version. Also, something that's going to be brand new, besides moving the motor back to the rear of the vehicle and connecting back to the rear differential, is going to be these chassis braces here. There's not just one, but there's two there. And there's actually a place where you can actually put your wires and stuff through here, where the previous version didn't have that. So they did an update to that as well, which is good. And the design as far as the construction of this is a lot different too. And I'm so glad that they included a receiver box and all that, because I think on my previous version, I had the receiver like mounted here and it was exposed. So sometimes when you run in the dirt and stuff, that receiver would get like dust and dirt and stuff in it. So with this particular version, you don't have to worry about that there. Other updates are going to be, this is of course CNC, and this machined aluminum, and the chassis is going to be 3 millimeters thick right there. The shock towers are also have updates to them as well, but they do have carbon fiber shock towers that you can get that are available. You can put on here if you want to go that route too. With the shocks, they did the shocks a lot different too than the previous version. And they also have like this protective covering over the shocks. So if you do flip, you're not kind of damaging your shocks. You're actually rubbing in on that protective covering that's going to be on there. It does have sway bars in the front, and then also in the rear are stabilizer bars for that. And it has droop screws. You guys can see those droop screws there, which is important, especially for guys that are doing speed runs, because they would have this thing lowered down just like that, and they would run it and they would get 100+ mile per hour with this vehicle, and it would be stable with it. Now, another thing to know is that this comes with Mod 1 gears in it. So it's a 42 center diff 2 spur gear that's on here. And then I believe this is about 11 or I think this is a 13 tooth pinion gear, but I'm going to put a 17 on there. And then the pinion gear and the ring gear in here, this is going to be a 10 tooth. And then the ring gear is going to be 39 tooth. And it does have diff wheel in it. It has a 5 in the front, 5 in the rear, or 5 in the front, 5 in the center, and 3 in the rear. So if you want to do some adjustments to that, you can. But it does have differential. And I'm not going to take this apart to show it to you, but I know it does have it in there. Habayo is one of the companies that actually puts center diff, lube, or grease in your differential. They just don't put grease in there and they expect you to take the whole thing apart and then add your own grease and stuff in there. As far as modification parts, they do have several things also available for this vehicle, as well as, like I mentioned, the carbon fiber inserts for there, carbon fiber shock towers front and rear. They do have some CNC aluminum steering blocks you can get too if you want to add those on there, because on the previous version they did break, especially in the rear, but now they have updated these somewhat. You guys can see that in there, but they also have the aluminum one too that are out there. I believe before some aftermarket companies tried to make some parts for it, but it's better to get it from them because they make it for their vehicle and it's going to fit their vehicle on there. So this motor right here, I believe this is a 3900 kV motor. Yep, you guys can see that there. It's a 3900 kV 540 motor. The speed controller is probably, I think, about 80 to 100 amps. It should be fine for now for what I'm going to do with this vehicle, because I'm going to take it off road and run it on 3S just straight out the box with it. Now, another adjustment that they've done for this is they've also done some adjustments to the battery tray. So you guys see there's some holes right here. So you can actually adjust this battery back to the rear more up front. But they've also made it to where you can use shorty packs in here, where the previous version you couldn't. So you just remove these 2 screws if you don't want to use a shorty pack, and you can fit a regular size LiPo in there, which I'm just going to be using this generic LiPo I got off of Amazon, because I've been running a lot of my vehicles, and it's kind of a thick LiPo. It's a hard case LiPo, but it's going to fit right in there once I take these 2 screws out for this. And I'm probably for now going to leave this moved forward. But like I said, if you're doing some racing and stuff, you can do it with a shorty pack, a 2S shorty pack, or a 3S shorty pack, or 4S. Depends on what you're going to do with it and how you're going to run it. And you can make the adjustment for that, which was not something that was available on the version 1. So other things, you guys see the specifications popping up for this vehicle. The size, like I said, this is a 10 scale truggy, but look at the bottom of that chassis. That looks pretty right there with that. So like I said, I'm going to put some Anacondas on here, and I'm going to run this vehicle with the Anacondas on it. And all these parts are going to be available on their website. Now, I do have a couple of modification parts too, and I'm going to show this to you. I'm not going to add them on this video, but I will as time progresses on with this, because I want to run it just straight out the box. And like I said, I'm pretty excited to get this out and get it running. So a couple of things that I have here to show to you guys real quick is I got some, you guys see here, some front and rear springs for it. These are gray, and there's some part numbers in there as well. You guys can check that out there. I do have here, I'm going to show this to you guys too, I do have some CNC aluminum hexes for the front and then also for the rear. It comes with plastic ones on there, so we'll run it with the plastic ones first. And then as we start to progress and get this car to do some speed runs, because I'm going to use this to break 100 miles per hour, and you guys will see it, we'll put these aluminum ones on there. And then here's going to be what I was talking about with those carbon fiber inserts. Now this is going to be the one for the rear, and this will go into the rear, and then that's going to be the shock tower, and there's going to be the one for the front too. So I'll add these on as time progresses on. I won't do it on this first run, but I want to run it how it is out the box, and then I want to run it with some of these components just to see if it makes a slight difference in some of the handling of the vehicle, which it probably will. Of course, the durability wise, it'll make it a little bit better. And then here's going to be the carbon fiber shock towers front and rear for it. So all these will be available on their site, and they do ship. So if you order this, you will be getting within a couple of days. And then I also got here, I got the aluminum 775 center dog bone drive shaft. So this is going to be when I start doing those 100 mile per hour runs. to kind of stiffen and straighten that up some with that. And it should be fine for what I'm doing stock out the box. So we'll run it and see how durable the stock one is, which it should be fine. And then we'll start doing these updates a little bit later on as we start running this vehicle more. I'm telling you guys, y'all have no idea how excited I am that they released this and that this vehicle's out, because it's been a long time coming. So I'm going to quit my yapping because I want to get this out, and I at least want to test it with 3S, and I'm going to go ahead and change the pinion gear on. I'm going to put a 17 in there, a 16 or 17. I think it's like a 13 that comes with it. So for the way I'm going to even run this, I'll leave my 16 or 17 in there. I'll do a speed test, and then probably within the next day or two, I'll take it to someplace just to kind of run around so you guys can see it run. And then also we're going to take this over to the track too. Now with the tires it comes with, these are Pinspike tires. You can put other tires on it because people have done conversions with these where they've taken this vehicle and they've converted it to a 10 scale monster truck. So you're not just limited to this being a truggy. And I've seen people where they've done this as a buggy too. They just changed out the tires and wheels and the body, and they ran this in a buggy class too. So it's pretty versatile for what you want to do with this, even probably as an on-road car. So I may bring back the Shapeshifter series that like Jane did a long time ago to see how many different vehicles we can get out of this. Because of course we're going to have it as a truggy. We'll run it as a truggy, and hopefully a truggy class will come back soon with this being released. I'm pretty sure it will. And we'll take this to the track. There's a couple of tracks. I just got to get there on a non-race day and run on the track to show you guys how this performs on the track. And when we run on the track, we're going to run on 2S. You don't run 3S when you go on the track when you run these type of vehicles, but we'll run it on 2S on the track, probably put a shorty pack in there and stuff for that. But anyway, I'm going to quit my yapping, and I want to get this out and running because I have been fiending to run this thing. So it's just going to be a quick speed test with it up and down the street. I want to see what kind of speeds I get with it, and then from that point, the next couple of days, we'll take this off-road and run it. So let me quit my yapping, and let's get to running. All right, y'all, so real quick before we do this test run, you do need a reducer sleeve for this, or you'll need a motor with a 5mm shaft. You guys see that's not a 5mm shaft in there. And I thought I had one, but this is not a reducer sleeve. Basically, that goes inside of this 5mm shaft for a Mod 1 pinion gear, and then you can slip that over that 0.8mm shaft or whatever right there, but I don't. I thought I had one in here, so I have to get one ordered in and then do a Super Speed Saturday test on it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the stock gearing back on here, and then we're going to test this on 3S. I'm just going to run it around for a bit so you guys can see it run. It is kind of storming and raining outside, but I do want to run this because I've been fiending to run this for a good minute. Just finally have the time to do this. So give me a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this 13.2 pinion gear back on here, slap these anacondas on it, and then we're going to take this out for a quick run. All right, y'all, we're here with a box stock run. Like I said, if you guys missed it in the unboxing, I needed a reducer sleeve to put a 17 in it, so I'm running a 13.2 pinion gear, the one that comes stock out the box with it, on 3S. So we got all that. Make sure that is catching, which that is. Oh, the sound of a Hyper T. I missed it. So it rained real bad out here. So we'll do a couple passes with this, and then of course, we'll get this back out for a Super Speed Saturday with a 17 or 18 in here. Oh man, I missed the sound of a Hyper T, guys. Trust me, when you had one before, you know what I'm talking about. When you get one, you'll know just what I'm talking about. This has such a unique scream to it. It's not even funny. All right, let me quit playing. Let's see what kind of speeds we got. So stock out the box with this. Like I said, I need a 17 in there. That was my normal running gear in here, but stop and come on. I know it's cloudy and raining. Let's see. Hopefully this GPS is not messing up. Yep, it's starting to mess up. Let's try this again. Making sure this is catching. Try this again. Has some crazy rain here in Georgia. So imagine this with probably about it's the 3900. I'll probably do about a 17 in here. I think I had a 4000 and about a 17 or 18, but And with these anacondas on here, oh my gosh. The beast is back. All right, let's stop. Hopefully this is getting a reading out here. 45, all right. 45 is kind of what I expected. Low 40, so it did go a little bit faster than I thought it was gonna go. So we're gonna go down one more time. Of course, with a better high C rating LiPo, you'll get a little bit more faster. But for track running, you'll probably get in the mid 30s on 2S, which is probably why people want to gear up just a little bit. But 45 is probably going to be that top speed out the box. And that's without any punch adjustings or anything on the speed control. So it has potential to go a little bit faster stock out the box with it. But anyway, look at my GPS. I think this thing is just acting up today. Hopefully Saturday will be good to go. I don't know if this is getting good readings in or not, but let's read this one last time. Yeah, my GPS is messing up. So it may be 40, between 45 to 48. I don't know. This thing is kind of messing up. Trust me, y'all, nothing runs like a Hyper TT. It's basically an 8 scale shrunk down into a 10 scale truggy size. Probably getting a bad reading on that, but I just had to do that real quick. Try this one more time. It's probably going to be in the 40s if it does do it, but I don't know if it's reading right. Yeah, 44. So between about 44 to maybe 46, 47 stock out the box with this. But so you guys put down in the comments. I'm going to drive this a little bit. Put down in the comments if you had one before. And of course, some people, it was parts availability for it and a little bit of durability with the version 1. But now that this version 2's out, let me know in the comments what you've had in one before. Because I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you from a YouTuber who's been doing this for a while and had RC cars forever and a day. Now that this is back in the market and I'm not trying to do a sales pitch, I am glad and happy. Because I have some plans for this bad boy. Y'all have no idea. All right, I know I gotta try it before we end this video. See if we can do it. I doubt it. It's not wet enough, but try to do a donut. Nope, I doubt it. We might be able to, I doubt it, because this thing hooks up really good, so I doubt it. But anyway, guys, I am going to do a lot more to this. especially Super Speed Saturday, I'm definitely going to get a 17 in there and open this bad boy up to show you guys the potential this has. And then of course I'm going to be taking it off-road. I'll put the stock tires back on it, but you guys see there you can use any 10 scale tires and wheels that have 12 millimeter hex on it. I'd recommend getting a wide offset for it, so it would still give it kind of that truggy look that you guys see going on here. So anyway, thank you Hobayo for bringing this thing back. You guys have no idea. I'm so happy that they brought this vehicle back. It's not even funny. And now it's a lot more durable, and it's updated with some components and some adjustments to it that can make this a serious contender, especially in the truggy market. If you race this against four-wheel drive buggies, which they'll probably say you can't do it because you're going to beat them. But anyway, guys, put your comments down below. Stay tuned for a lot more videos coming up with this. Follow me on Facebook. There's a link in the description below. Also, follow me on Instagram too. And I also have a TikTok page. And then I'm also on Twitter or X or whatever too. So I do post stuff out there. I just don't advertise it as much, but I do have things out there with this, and you'll see a lot more that you're not going to see on YouTube as well on those other social media accounts. So anyway, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video. Appreciate you guys watching.